This might be the most controversial cast iron pan ever made. People love it, people absolutely hate it, and now the internet is full of videos of people grinding it, polishing it, trying to fix it. So I bought one. What I found shocked me, and you're probably not going to like what I'm about to say. Hey, I'm Papa Mao. I'm here to encourage and help people transition away from non-stick cookware as a way to care for their loved ones and for the environment. In this channel, I show how easy it is to cook with carbon steel and cast iron cookware. I share my experience as an everyday dad cook and as a weekend outdoor warrior. Welcome! See, it is rough. The main complaint about Lodge cast iron pans is always the same. They come with a rough cooking surface. So rough that some people say it makes them impossible to cook on. And look at this surface. Out of the box, it's so rough that I can literally grate cheese on it. You can literally grind cheese with this thing. Look at that. Oh, it's actually a pretty good grater. Now compare that to my 90 years old Griswold. Yeah, massive difference. And that difference is why so many people go all in and grind these pans completely smooth. But does that actually mean Lodge pans are bad to cook on? Or is everyone blaming the wrong culprit? Let's find out. For our first test, we're skipping the fried egg. We're going straight to French omelette territory. And remember, this pan is completely new, straight out of the box. I just washed it with soapy water and off we go. I used 1 teaspoon of oil and about 3 grams of butter, and a technique that I call the double fat trick. On the first try, I cooked 2 eggs, and the pan was clearly too hot. The egg overcooked a bit, and honestly this spatula makes folding a bit difficult, but overall it wasn't bad. I wasn't 100% happy, so I did it again. This time the pan was cooler. I had more time to work the egg, hit the right texture and fold it as best as I could with this spatula. We'll talk about spatulas in another video. They are critical. But there you go. Who would have thought that a rough cast iron skillet could cook French omelettes with minimal fat straight out of the box? And if that surprised you, wait for the next test. You know, I don't season my pans. This is literally the first cook. Like, I swear it. You can tell it doesn't have any stains, nothing. But that French omelette, that's easy. This is the next challenge. The stickiest food ever created by human beings. Frozen dumplings. Wow! In a previous video, I actually said dumplings made me think carbon steel was more non-stick than cast iron, simply because carbon steel is naturally smoother. But since then, I have refined my technique. So I really wanted to give cast iron another go. The first try wasn't great. Even with a generous amount of oil and butter, the dumplings stuck immediately. I had to abort the mission and start again. I think the pan was simply too hot. Second try. This time I used the standard teaspoon of oil and 3 grams of butter, same as for the omelette. But the real key was this. I didn't let the pan get too hot. I blistered the dumplings regularly until they were brown underneath. Then I started adding drops of water on the sides, making sure the water didn't go underneath the dumplings. The water creates steam, and I covered them to finish cooking. The results were impressive. I made perfect dumplings with just that minor tweak. And remember, this pan is still brand new. This is one of the trickiest dishes to attempt on any iron cookware. You will struggle to find videos on YouTube with people cooking frozen dumplings with other than non-stick Teflon pans. These dumplings are perfect. no sticking at all. So bottom line, this cooks perfectly fine. Like, it needs nothing. It is rough. Yeah, it is. And if you polish it, it's gonna be less rough, right? So I will polish it. In the next video, I'm really keen to go into the bottom of all this. Now, I had to try it, just out of the box to see how bad they were and to try to understand what's the rationale, what's the logic behind modifying these pans. If the pan is smooth, it may be easier. I'm happy to try that. Maybe rough pan are more technical. You really need to dial in, fine tune your technique, Maybe that's not for everyone. So I will do it and I will see what I find and I will share my honest view. But this thing cooks if you know how to do it. What is fascinating with iron cookware is that for different types of food, the more you try, you end up unlocking like the code. Once you get the hang out of it, and especially once you throw away your non-stick cookware and you stick to this because it's the only thing you have at home, you bloody make it work. So this is the shocking truth. What is bad isn't the pan. It's probably the cook. It's you! Now you can dislike the video. But here's the great news. If I can cook frozen dumplings in this cheese grater, that means that everyone can. Cast iron and carbon steel asks for one thing from you: to be present, to pay attention to the dance between the steel, the temperature, the fat, and the food. Those are the variables. And it's up to you to combine them in a way that works. Heat management is key. To me, from my experience so far, that's far more important than fat. Like you saw here, like I know everyone is very picky with the amount of fat we use. Here, I use the standard, I think it's pretty much becoming a standard, a teaspoon of oil and 3 grams of butter. That's literally just enough to cover the cooking surface, right? So it's not that these things are swimming in oil. Mixing the oil with butter, I think it really makes a difference. It does. The real question is, are you willing to dedicate time to the craft of cooking? If not, I would be challenging myself if I really want one of these. There's nothing wrong with that. It may not be for everyone, but if you are, welcome to the family. I see you in the next one.